It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm really excited today to bring you a can of Buxton Brewery's 50/50 IPA. It's got US Citra and UK Olicana hops in it. It's 440 milliliter in the can. It's 5.5% ABV. This can would have cost me £3. So it's a US UK hop blend IPA. For this to land into Tesco is quite interesting. The reason why it's quite interesting is because it's landed into most Tesco stores, the larger Tesco stores in the UK, as of early June 2022. And it just shows how technical we all are getting now with beer. If you spoke to me when I first got into drinking beers on YouTube over 10 years ago, and you told me that, you know, you'd be able to go to the supermarket and they'd be explaining different hop varieties, US hops, UK hops, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. When I was buying supermarket beer, it was generally your Abbott Ale, nothing wrong with an Abbott Ale, Green King, Brains, Marston's, Badger, Courage. It was that kind of like, you know, the old bottles you used to have well, you still got them in the supermarkets. And there wasn't much in the way of they would mention hops on the back of the bottle. But I like the fact that we're in this this zone now, this area where there's enough people in the UK that know about hops that Tesco feel like they can put beers in the supermarket now where they explain what's going on the side of the can. I think it's fantastic. Anyway, Buxton Brewery, let's get this open into a glass, see what we get. One of the most fantastic breweries in the UK, Buxton, always doing something really exciting. They got their beers in Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, all of the main supermarkets, but all of the beers are different. So you won't be able to buy this 50/50 in Sainsbury's or Morrison's. You'll only be able to buy it in Tesco. And if you go to Morrison's or Sainsbury's, you'll see a different variety of Buxton beer. It's not like going to your generic supermarket and buying 6 pints of milk. You know, this stuff is different. This stuff is interesting. So, we got a 2-finger white head. We have a slight levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass, but it's a really hazy looking, light straw coloured beer. And again, I'm going to mention it again. If you mentioned to me that there'd be a hazy IPA in the supermarkets 10 years ago, well, it didn't even exist back then. It's great that, you know, what's going on here. Let's get the aroma. Smells quite good. It's got a slight marmalade-y, tropical mango and maybe kiwi or something like that. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Whoa, that's fresh. That is fresh. I nearly just burst out with my slight I nearly went into that I nearly shouted out like burning tyre, rubber tyre. It's not quite that. It's not quite that fresh. got a quite pineapple, tangerine, pineapple, mango. A little bit of pepperiness, spiciness coming through. A little bit of bitterness on the back end. I quite like the bitterness on the back end because it's balancing out that little bit of sweetness that begins with the beer. A little bit of sweetness over there, a little bit of bitterness over there. It's very drinkable. For 5.5%, it's very, very drinkable. It's got a nice, slightly rich, creamy mouthfeel as well. Probably oats. Either wheat or oats have done this. It's very relaxing. It's kind of, I'm almost at the point where I'm standing here and I just want to just lean back against the counter and just hold my beer and hide away from this rip-roaring sunny day that we got today. It's boiling outside, and just hide away here in my little underground cave kitchen and enjoy the beer. Because it's that type of beer that you want to enjoy. But I can't do that because I'm reviewing the beer. I've got to kind of switch on here and pull some flavours out. Get myself out of that relaxed mood I'm in. Let's talk about the balance of the beer then. So it begins with a little bit of sweet wafer-like malt over here, and then it finishes with a little bit of bitterness over here. That offers a balance. That offers a lovely balance to a beer. This beer that I think is important with most beers. I think 9 out of the 10 beers that I enjoy drinking the most are balanced between malt, sweet malt and bitter hop. That's my... I grew up, first of all, kind of not quite understanding the bitterness and not quite... I always remember drinking Banks Bitter, and I always remember thinking, that's got a really harsh... I used to use the word harsh finish. And it took me a long time to drink Banks Bitter. And of course, just didn't know back then, as somebody in the early 20s, drinking something bitter like that. My understanding of beer wasn't there yet. But talking about this beer right now, 9 out of the 10 beers that I really enjoy are balanced. They're balanced between sweet malt, bitter hop. It has to toe that line. It's like sweet and sour chicken balls. You get the sweet, you get the sour. It just works. It shouldn't work, but it does. There's lots of tangerine, light flavours coming through of tangerine, a little bit of tin pineapple. Get that kind of slight syrupiness from the tin pineapple, as you do with a kind of tin pineapple. Chunks, I should say. It's just good. It's just a really decent beer. A really decent beer. So we're going to read the side of the can. Read the side of the can. A series of beers bringing together wonderful hop varieties from the US and the UK. Each pairing is carefully designed to showcase the character of each variety and to celebrate the intertwined history and development of modern hops. So, just touching on this for a second, Olicana seems to be the new hop that everybody's talking about. I hosted Brew York at Craft Republic and here at my house doing a live feed. Some of you might have watched it a week ago. Not even a week ago. We did the live down Craft Republic on Monday. It's now Friday morning, so what was that, like 4 days ago? 4 days ago. And we touched on Olicana, and we touched about how if you put a hop plant in the ground today, your yield on that hop plant will only start making its money back after 5 years. So first 4 years of putting that hop plant in the ground, you've got to nurture it, feed it, water it, keep all the fly, keep nature away from it basically. Make sure that plant is okay until it's big enough and bold enough that it can look after itself and it can start making the money for you. But that process begins at about 5 years in the hop plant industry. So if you can imagine the US goes, right, this is the next hop plant. This is the one that we've planted and it's going to work and it's going to be great and everybody's going to want to drink it. Then that's kind of a secret in America for a number of years until it's hit fruitation, until it starts making that money. The UK then scrambles to put these hops in the ground because they got 5 years. They've got 5 years to wait. So my understanding is because I had a few beers, of course, at this event, is that Olicana in the UK is the next hop that everybody's going to want to use. It's the hop that's just coming into fruition. It's been in the ground for 5 years. It's just starting to yield. It's just starting to make money for people. And it's going to be the next big hop in the UK. If I'm wrong, of course, if I'm wrong, comment, let me know. I'm always open for a bit of criticism. But that's my understanding, is that Olicana is the next British hop that's going to take the world or take the British beer industry by storm. Rating on this beer then. Looks good. Nice lacing. Smells good. Tastes good. I like it. I like it. It's interesting. It's tasty. It's really piqued my interest with talking about hops, and the fact that they got so technical with it on the can is really exciting. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.